I was always so insecure in my body. I just could not even bear the thought of like being in a swimsuit around other people. And now I am one of the Sports Illustrated Swim Search finalists, one of 6 girls out of like thousands that apply. And I got to walk in the Miami Swim Week fashion show.
I speak to women every single day who are still waiting to feel more confident before they show up on social media, waiting to launch the thing, to speak on the stages, or to book the damn photo shoot. And honestly, I've been there too. I think we all have. That's why this episode hits deep, because today's podcast guest, Raeann Langas, didn't wait to feel perfect to go after what she wanted. She built an empire by showing up exactly as she is. She's gone viral for her unapologetic personality and has built a community of over 1 million followers across Instagram and TikTok. From brand partnerships, bold content, to their viral annual pool party, Raeann has built a business that turns confidence into a movement. And in this episode, we're pulling back the curtain on how she did it, from building her audience to landing brand deals to making money, and all while staying true to who she is. So if you've ever felt like you needed to change the way you look before chasing big goals, or you're holding back from showing up fully, this conversation will remind you already have everything you need. Let's get into it. Raeann Langas, welcome to Unstoppable Success.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to meet you in person. I feel like we've had like a online relationship for like so many years now.
Oh my gosh. So for everyone's context, Raeann and I worked together when I had my swimwear brand, and I always remember from the first day, I think I sent you the message and I was like, I am obsessed with you, because I was doing like this campaign and we had the t-shirts.
Oh my God. Well, yes, it's all coming back to me.
Yes, and you did this dance and the song is still in my brain. I've never heard the song other than in your video, but it's like, she got a big booty and she got a big booty.
Oh,
something like that.
The fact that I
like,
danced is actually crazy, because like you couldn't pay. Oh my gosh. Like I'm so, wow. Different times.
This was like before TikTok as well. And like there was something, I was like, I have watched this video 20 times on repeat, like not a stalker, but like this video was just so high vibe.
Thank you.
You are amazing.
Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Literally, I'm like, now this is all coming back to me. This feels like a different lifetime ago.
Yeah, because that was pretty much when you were more starting out, right?
Yeah, like I had just moved to LA at the time, and I was doing kind of more like modeling, content, working like 5 different jobs, and wasn't even doing content full time then. So I think that it was like 2018 or something.
Yeah.
Which is so crazy.
So cool.
Yeah.
Now we're in a whole new world where
I was going to say, and now you've lived like so many different lives and have done so many different things since then. And it's so cool to see what you've done. And
it's so cool that we literally met through Instagram.
Yeah.
And chatted on and off over the years, and now here we are hanging out in New York.
I know, who would have thought?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. That's how I feel like all my like relationships start now, is through social media, Instagram. Like TikTok, Instagram. I met my boyfriend through TikTok. All my friends are through like Instagram. Like it's crazy.
Okay. So one thing I want to know is, how on earth do you make money? I think we live in this era where there is a bajillion ways. Like you could make up a new way to monetize things tomorrow, I feel like. And it's such an incredible opportunity for women, especially because rewind 20 years even, there were 5 jobs. It was like you could be a nurse, you could be a secretary or a teacher. Yeah. And so I love to ask women this question, because I think when we hear how someone else makes money, we're like, oh, I didn't know I could actually do that. And I think it's time for more women to go out there and claim that bank. So can you give us a little insight?
Yeah, so I would say 90% of my income comes from brand deals. So brands working with me to do a post on Instagram or TikTok.
Yeah.
And then the other like 10% is affiliate marketing. So like to know it or shop my. So if I post a link to this outfit, someone buys it, maybe I get like $2 from someone buying this shirt.
Yeah.
So for me, that I have followed the very traditional kind of content creator path. And I'm kind of at a point now where I'm trying to figure out what I want to do and like what my next kind of like revenue stream is. But I do think I feel so grateful that I've been able to be part of this like women-led new job, new career that women are out earning men, and it's a female-led field where they're making really good money. And like, yeah, so that's been my full-time income since 2020. So
Oh, good.
yeah.
Can I ask, what was one of the biggest deals you've ever landed?
I would say Victoria's Secret was one of my big partners, and it was like a 6-month contract, you know, where you have like one video a month, stories a month. That was a big one for me.
I think that's awesome, having longer term partnerships
Yeah.
where you don't have to then sell yourself every single day or for every single post. And I'm sure you get in a flow and then you're only dealing with the team minimally instead of 100 teams across 100 brands. So
and it's nice, like, you're not using like new products all the time. It's easy to incorporate the things that you're wearing and using all the time and sharing all the time on a normal basis. So that's like when I tell people who like want to get into content, like post and tag the brands that you're using and wearing on a daily all the time. Even if you're tagging them 5 times a week, just do it. Like, who cares if you're annoying them? Just show that you're using it and loving it, because when then they're casting for a campaign, they're going to see, oh, this girl has been tagging us and using us for the last year. Like, okay, hello. Of course we're going to book her.
Yeah.
So,
the authentic alignment. What made you like reach out and you were like, I am claiming this. I'm going to apply. I'm going to do the thing. What made you?
So I first applied in like 2018 and this was my 3rd time applying, and I think I've just always felt, well, I think, and we even talked about this when we were discussing when you had your swim company, was I was always so insecure in my body. And like in high school, if we were going to the pool or we were going over to this kid's house who had hot tub, I'd like forget to bring my swimsuit because I just could not even bear the thought of like being in a swimsuit around other people. And then I moved to Los Angeles. I was really on this confidence journey and I was following all of these curve models and these other like curve content creators that really were shaping how I viewed myself in like a completely different way. And wearing swimsuits was like kind of like exposure therapy for me. I was posting so much about swimsuits and wearing swimsuits all the time. I mean, I lived in LA. I was like by the beach, and Sports Illustrated was always this thing that I really wanted to be a part of, kind of like to prove to myself that I can do it and represent women who have a body type like mine. And like I said, a lot of my friends are part of it, and I saw them and what that meant for them and the platform it gave them to connect with women in whatever way that felt good for them. And so it was just something I was like, you know what, I'm going to give it one more shot. I was honestly kind of embarrassed to do it again because I was like, felt like further in my career, like it hasn't happened yet. Like, should I just move on? And I was like, no, that's so stupid. Like, I'm not going to let the possible thought of like someone being like, oh my God, she's applying again, like stop me from doing it. And I'm so glad that I did. And I made the video and I applied for the 3rd time. So yeah, it was like 10 years in the making.
The video was iconic. You with the horses.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. We like spent the month in LA and I was like, okay, this is where I'm going to do it. Like, it was nice weather. I was like, I can't be running around in a bikini in the middle of winter in New York. And I was like, I'm going to rent this horse. I like went all out, rented this horse, like did all this. I was like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it 100%.
Yeah. So. Do you think that made a difference? Like even just the mindset of, okay, this time I'm going all in, but then also giving it your all, doing something that stands out, doing something unique, because how many people are with horses in their swimsuit? I mean, it's unique, it's creative. Do you feel like that helped?
I think so. And I think I just really wasn't trying to like, I looked back at my old videos and I feel like I was kind of saying what I think I should say. And I just feel like I'm more secure in myself and who I am. And I just know myself better and knew what I wanted to say, maybe catch their eye and be a little bit different. And not just kind of saying what like I think I should say, you know, if that makes any sense.
I think that's such a powerful takeaway for people, whether they're in social media or business. And I think so often, even when I found myself in a rut in the past, it's always because I was thinking, what do my audience want to hear, or
Right.
what should I say, or what's going to be valuable? And it's like when we can just tap into what do I actually want to say,
Yeah.
when we remove all filters, all expectations, there's this magic that you can't recreate, and the uniqueness, and it always lands so much better.
Yeah.
Do you ever have those moments even with your social media where you feel like, "Ooh, am I posting what I think people want to see?"
Oh my gosh, all the time. And I feel like it's so hard now because I feel like you're creating content for like the algorithm,
Yeah.
not necessarily creating content for maybe what you're super excited about. And so I think you really do have to find a balance, because I think that you need to kind of know, obviously from the marketing side, like what is going to hook people and what's going to work and how many seconds and that kind of thing. But then also bridging that gap of like making sure that you're staying true to what you want to say and not just doing something because everybody else is doing it and making it your own. And I think it's so hard because like even I sometimes feel like I'm like taking in way too much content, and I feel like we all need to be really careful of that because you lose what you're thinking. Even like, this is so silly, but I'm watching Love Island USA. And I'm watching the show, and I honestly have never watched the show in live time. And I will like watch the episode and think something, and then I'll go to social media and see what everybody else is thinking. And I'll be like, wait, do I actually agree with that? Or am I just thinking that because everyone else is saying that? And so I think you kind of have to find the balance between staying in the know and like tapping in from the marketing side of things, but also staying true to yourself.
Yeah. How do you stay true to yourself in those moments? Is there like a ritual? Is there a question you ask yourself? Do you even just like mute accounts? Or
honestly, like sometimes I just need to get off my phone.
Yeah.
I'm getting off my phone. Like I am going to do something where I'm not on a screen and really make sure like I am just away from it. And I think it's good to take breaks too, to kind of realign. I think taking breaks and giving yourself space to recalibrate is really necessary too.
Yeah. How often do you take a break?
I mean, quite a bit. I feel like I have a good balance on things. Like Sundays are my days to just like do nothing, chill, like reset. Even like every single day I make sure I take time to like get my workout, do my walk. Like I really try and live a balanced life where I'm not just working and on my phone every single day, all the time.
Has it always been that way, or did you have a moment where you were like, okay, something's got to give, I'm on my phone 24/7?
I think honestly it was in 2022 now, which is so crazy. I went through like a horrible breakup and was just kind of like really, really struggling, really lonely, and was just feeling like I needed to do something to like change. And I went to Europe for 6 weeks by myself and did like solo traveling. And that really showed me that like for me, getting out of my comfort zone, like, and I always encourage every woman who's like single and young, even if you're not single, like go solo travel. It is the best thing you can do for your confidence. And also just get out of this like bubble that we create in our lives and like just being on our phones. So that was a big kind of wake up call for me. So since then I've loved traveling and loved just putting myself in new situations. And yeah, that was kind of the time where I was like, okay, I gotta like shake this up and do something different.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I think we all need a dose of that. I just got back from Europe. I went last week.
Oh my God, I'm jealous.
But I honestly love solo travel because even just being in new environments, even just being here in New York this week, I'm like realizing things about myself. I'm realizing that people operate differently.
100%.
Environments change things. There's so much perspective. And when you're with someone that you always know, it's kind of keeps you insulated a little bit.
Yeah, like we just get so into our like everyday little, which like having a routine is nice and having that consistency is nice, but you just get in your bubble and like you kind of forget that there's so much more beyond what we kind of see every day and get into our comfort zone, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I want to switch gears back to confidence because
Let's do it.
you are the queen of confidence.
Thank you.
But obviously you've shared that you weren't always confident.
Yeah.
Was that mostly around your body, or was it even just in yourself, in your thoughts, in just the way you show up in life as well.
I think they're so connected.
Yeah.
I feel like, especially as women, because there is so much pressure for us physically, that I thought that it was all about my body. But as I kind of started to like go into my confidence journey and try and be like, okay, I'm sick of feeling not enough and I have to change this, I realize like all of these things are so connected. Like when you do something that puts yourself out of your comfort zone, that builds confidence, and you kind of just in turn start to care less if you have cellulite on your thighs. Like it's all intertwined. I don't think you can go on a confidence journey and it only be about what you look like, because I don't think you're going to actually change the internal dialogue that you're having with yourself.
Yeah. Was there a moment where you were like, okay, I'm going to go on a confidence journey? Or did it just start to unfold as you grew?
It kind of just started to unfold as I grew and was going into this space. I mean, really throwback, like when I started doing my content with a blog like 10 years ago, I wanted to see what clothing looked like on a body type like mine, because especially back then, online shopping, it was like there was no diversity in models, there was nothing. And I was like, I want to buy this shirt, but I have no idea what it's going to look like on me. And so that's kind of where it started. And then it just kind of evolved. It wasn't like I woke up one day and was like, okay, here we go, we're starting this. And it's always changing. Like even now, in the last year, I have struggled so much with my body image because I have gained weight while it seems like everyone else in the world, with the rise of Ozempic and skinny talk and all of this stuff, it feels like everyone around me was getting smaller and I was getting bigger. And I was like, wait, I feel like I'm 5 years ago trying to navigate this again and relearn how to feel good in my body. And it has been a struggle. Like that there seems to be such an emphasis right now on being thin, and I would be lying to say like, oh my gosh, I just like feel good all the time. Like, no, it's been hard. And even especially with Sports Illustrated, I felt this like immense pressure to, it was funny, I didn't feel pressure to change my body before the runway. I got some questions about that where someone was like, oh my God, like, did you feel like you needed to like change or do anything? And I'm like, well, not really. I found out a week before. And that wasn't it. It was more this pressure to represent all of these women who I feel like look like me and curvy women, to see me in that space. I was like, I have to do this for my girls. It's always evolving.
Yeah.
And there are going like ups and downs. Like I'm in kind of, I would even say a down right now, where I'm trying to relearn and renavigate like gaining weight during this time of Ozempic and skinny talk. It's an interesting time.
Yeah. How do you navigate those times? Is there any rituals, or how do you, because now you've obviously got so much more experience with working through it. You know that you can feel really, really good and easy.
Yeah.
What do you do in these moments?
I'm kind of trying to figure that out at the moment. There are some things that I think you can do that are so basic that I've been saying for forever. Is number one, follow people on social media that you feel like represent you or make you feel good. Like one of my favorite friends of mine to follow is Achanga Gutu No Ordinary Noir. And she is literally like exactly how she is online, she is in person, and she gives me like the best pep talks. Like she is the best. So I think following people that you see yourself in and don't make you feel like you need to change.
Yeah.
And I mean change for the better. I think we should always be trying to grow and be the best versions of ourselves. But I also think that like get clothes that fit you. It's so simple. I have so many things in my closet that don't fit me anymore because I've gained, I don't know how much weight in the last year. And why am I just like keeping that and trying to put it on and then reminding myself that like, oh, that doesn't feel nice when you want to wear something and it's too small and you feel like crap and you're trying to run out the door. So get rid of the stuff that doesn't fit you and get stuff that does. And I think also just incorporating movement is so important. I, was in a very good routine when I was living in LA and then moved to New York and kind of had to refine my movement routine here and what I like to do. And I love lifting and even just like walking. I think no matter where you're at, I had this like pep talk with my friend who she was actually getting married and she was just feeling so bad about her body. And it was like a month from her wedding. And I was like, look, like you need to prioritize movement every single day for 30 minutes before your wedding. You might not see a difference physically and it doesn't really matter because it's not about that. It's about keeping the commitment to yourself. And the mental shift you are going to see that. It's like undeniable. So those are 3 things that I do and try and focus on when I'm feeling like, okay, I'm not feeling great about myself. And also, just not really engaging with this content that we're seeing around just like glorifying being skinny.
Yeah. How do you manage the external expectations or the content and knowing your truth? Because whether it is around body confidence, whether it is around mindset, whether it is around just thought leadership, like everyone has an opinion these days and trends come and go. How do you remain grounded in knowing your truth?
I think I've really struggled with that because I really don't ever want to make anyone feel upset, or I don't want to offend anybody, and I don't want to. And in the last like year or so, I've had to kind of grapple with that and realize like, you're not going to make everybody happy, and that's fine. Like, I feel like we are in a very interesting phase where we have such strong opinions about people that we don't know. People in my sphere have come out and have lost weight or done things and have had like a lot of backlash. And I just like don't really agree with that at all. And I think that like we need to give people space to do what is best for them. And it's a very interesting time where I think the pendulum is like swinging back in a direction, and it's going to come and find its like happy medium here soon, I hope. But you're not going to make everybody happy, and that's a very hard pill to swallow, and I still struggle with it. But you can't sacrifice what's going to make you feel good for someone else, especially someone that you don't know. If you know what you believe and like what you want to say or want to do, and you feel secure in that, you'll be able to handle people like disagreeing with you. And you just have to be secure in yourself.
Have you ever felt like you can't share your opinion online?
100%. Like I said, as like our industry is changing, and I'm talking strictly in terms of like body and self-acceptance, self-love, body positivity, all of this like realm of things, because I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about it. And when I do speak about it, I often say like, I feel confused. I feel weird about this. Like, why do I feel weird about some people I've looked up to losing weight? Why does that make me feel a certain type of way? Like, should that make me feel a certain type of way? I think I always try and just share my opinion, but in a very open way, because I'm still trying to figure it out at the same time. But when I do, there is times where it's scared, where I'm like, I don't really like agree what's going on, but I don't always want to be in the drama or be in the mix, and like maybe I should speak up more, and that's something that I'm trying to figure out how to navigate. But it's scary. The internet's like a scary place. People are scary. Like, oh my God.
I think it's relatable though, because I think people are trying to always have it all figured out. And I think they share their opinion, or they craft it in a certain way to sound like they have it all figured out. When really everyone is just making it up as we go along. So I almost feel like that is even more relatable to say, you know what? I don't know why I feel weird about this, but I'm sharing the journey, and when I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Right. And it's like, if we're so scared to share or do something wrong, then there's no space for growth. And that's where I think like, especially cancel culture and all this stuff that I just really don't agree with, is like, people should be able to be held accountable and learn and grow. And I think sometimes people are so scared to make a mistake or do something that we're like kind of getting stuck. It's like, you're gonna make mistakes when you're learning and growing, and I think that it's part of the journey.
Have you ever had any major backlash?
Thankfully, no. No, I haven't. I mean, honestly, luckily I feel like I've really curated an amazing group of women that are like-minded, like me, that if someone has maybe a different opinion than me, I can be like, oh wait, I see where you're coming from, and I see your point, but this is where I think. Nothing crazy has ever happened, thank God.
Hopefully not. On that, with your community, So you have built the Confident Collective, which is an incredible group of women all about embracing themselves, who they are, being confident in their bodies. And you just had your big annual pool party because everybody is a bikini body. I love, love, love the mission and the message behind it. I want to talk a little bit about how you built the community, because obviously a lot of the women listening are business owners, and truly the only way to succeed in business, whether you have a product, whether you have a service-based business, whether you're just a personal brand, you need a damn community. I don't think you can otherwise, because without a community, you don't have customers. Without a community, you don't have that word of mouth, the connection. And in the age of AI, we need so much more connection than ever. So I want to dive into, how did it start, and how do you feel like you've fostered this really incredible community where you sell out your events and you have beautiful dinners and all these women advocating for your message?
Yeah, I think honestly it really started with me being vulnerable. I think that, obviously I share a lot like fashion and lifestyle content, but why people feel connected to me and to us is because we are vulnerable about our insecurities, and really shared a lot of like the not perfect, not pretty side of things. Like, I think in the beginning, I shared so much about how I felt with my confidence in dating and my confidence with men, and just how I felt in my body, and was very open about that. And I think exactly how when you're like getting to know someone in real life and you have that moment where you're like, oh my gosh, me too. Like, I'm so glad you said that. That's like what builds community, not being like, oh my gosh, I love the top that you're wearing.
Yeah.
Like, that comes after. Like, you have to build the trust with people by being vulnerable for them to then get to that point where it's like, oh, I'm going to buy this top she recommends or something, because they feel that trust with you. And that's just how it is in real life too,
Yeah.
And then I think from there, it was really like we wanted to create a space where we could kind of tackle like the quote unquote problems we were getting in DMs, where it was like, I want to be confident like you. How do you have the confidence to go on the date or go work out? Like, I just can't get past that. And we just saw that we needed to do more than just like answer a DM.
Yeah.
And so we actually started with monthly fitness events back in LA. And because, like I said, movement has always been like a pillar for me of confidence, that is like a non-negotiable of like feeling good. But going to a gym, especially when you don't feel good in your body or don't know what you're doing, oh my gosh, that's so scary. Like going to even to a new workout class, it's like so intimidating. You're like, does everyone know each other? I don't know what's going on. I don't know where to put myself.
Yeah.
So
the fear of like picking up the wrong thing and doing it wrong in front of everybody. Yeah, I get it.
I know. It's like, oh my gosh, this is so scary. So we just wanted to create a space where women could come and they could know that they're in a safe space, try a new workout, move their body, make friends, and that's kind of how it just snowballed from there. And
what did those events look like in the early days? How many people? And like monthly events for someone on the outside might feel like, oh my gosh, that feels like a lot of work. Like, how did you pump them out?
Well, really, it was pretty low lift because we were very active in like the fitness community in LA at the time. And so we were just reaching out to gyms and being like, hey, can we book out one of your classes? So we didn't have to think about like a location. We didn't have to think about decor. We didn't have to think about all this stuff that comes with an event that you typically think about. It was really just hosting a workout class. And so the studio was already set up for all of that. And we just really had girls come and work out. We didn't give goodie bags. We didn't do any of that because it was like a free workout.
Yeah.
So we partnered with the gym in exchange for like social promotion or something like that. So it was low lift.
Yeah.
That was an easy way for us to start and getting into it. And then obviously like now, the pool party that we've done, this was our 3rd year. That is a big production. We could not do that every month. That's crazy. So starting small.
Yeah. How many people came to the first event?
The first event, I think it was, I'm trying to remember, I think it was like a box union class or one of these workout studios that I don't even know is in LA anymore.
Yeah.
So we probably had like 35 girls, who fill out the class. Yeah.
That's awesome. And it just builds momentum from there. Did you then get to a point where these classes were just booking out way too quickly and you realized you needed something bigger, or how did that evolve?
Well, we kind of started that right before COVID, and we were actually still one of the highlights of my career. We trained with 30 women to run their first half marathon with Nike. Nike was hosting their first, like they called it LA 13.1, their first all women half marathon in LA. And we had so many girls apply, but it was just, Christina and I that were hosting this like kind of run club, which I didn't even know what a run club was back then. Like I had never run anything in my life. And so we picked 30 women. Nike said we could do 30 girls. So we could have had way more. And we were training for this half marathon and it was truly incredible. And then COVID happened. So then the event stopped. We launched the podcast and started connecting with people that way. And we had our podcast for like 5 years and we just ended it in the end of last year. And it was great. It was getting to that point, but then it was like COVID. And so we just had to recalibrate and switch things up. So, and now we're kind of still, again, figuring out what we want to do next, like always evolving. And we just had our pool party in LA, which we have 150 women come every year to that. And it's so fun. I want to do one in New York, but finding pools in New York is really difficult.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, might have to swim in the river.
I know. I'm like, ooh. But so it's just starting small.
Oh, incredible. How do you feel like for someone really wanting to build a community, how do you keep that momentum going? Because sometimes you can throw one event and it's like, I put everything into it. And then the next one, you're like, oh my gosh, now I got to start from scratch. But obviously over the years, you've continued to build the momentum. What do you feel like is one of the keys?
I think having a space, and I always think, because obviously I'm a content creator, that's where my brain goes. It's really about having that space and creating that on social, I think, to continue that.
Yeah.
And I think if you can connect people, even like from an event, every time we have events, girls come to the next one and are like, oh my gosh, I came with girls and I met at the last event. So it does all kind of trickle down. But I think by just whatever you're building, like I feel like at this point in time, social is where it kind of starts and you can kind of maintain that. And then it's different events or podcasts or things where people can tap in and tune in and feel part of something that kind of keeps all of those little pillars, like build it together.
Yeah. As brands grow, sometimes it can feel like whether it's the creator or even just the face of the brand, sometimes it can feel like they're a little bit removed. How do you make sure you keep that connection going as you continue to build? And now you've got like almost 1 million across your platforms. And how do you make sure they feel part of the journey the whole way?
I still feel like it's just me and my phone. Do you know what I mean? At times that it's just, I still feel connected. It doesn't, even though there is growth and things change and your audience gets bigger and you change and your life stages, but I still feel like it's still me and the phone. And especially with, as you know, our other brand has been evolving, like every single week we were sitting down and doing a podcast episode 2 to 4 times a year. We were having an event. So it was still us kind of at the forefront.
Yeah.
But still using that opportunity to give back to the community with whatever events we were doing. We wanted it to be, like the pool party is about feeling good in your body before going into summer where there's so much pressure to feel like you need to change weight, lose weight or change your body to wear a swimsuit. And then we do a Friendsgiving dinner every year, which is like, around the holidays, it can feel really isolating if you don't have a big group of friends or family. Like you see all these people doing a Friendsgiving or holiday parties. And if you don't have that, it can be really isolating. So with the events, we want to make sure that we solve something for them or give back to them in some sort of way.
Yeah, that's awesome. One thing you said before around when you were applying for Sports Illustrated, you were like, now my brand's grown. It kind of feels like, oh, should I really be putting myself out there to get that rejection again? I want to know how that even plays out with your socials, with your community, because even for me, I found it in the early days, I found it so easy. I was like, here's me every day. I look messy. I just woke up. Here's me eating my breakfast. It's so not aesthetic. And it was like so much easier when you felt like there wasn't as many eyes, but then you start creating success and you're like, oh, wait, now I have to be polished and put together. And I know I've been through that where there's almost this layer of, okay, now everyone's looking up to me. I'm not just at every, it changes something in your mind. Have you found that happened for you? And how do you be intentional? Do you ever just check in with yourself like every week and you're like, wait, have I shared something vulnerable this week? I don't know. Do you have a process?
I don't think I have like a specific
Yeah.
process, but I think it's just like, yeah, letting go of your ego, because I feel like for me, I was holding myself back in certain ways. Like, oh, when you're younger and starting out and you're kind of trying everything and doing anything, and you're like, it doesn't matter if I fail because there's not that many people watching, and you're starting, trying to do something. And now that like I'm more established and I feel like more eyes, or I should have already gotten certain opportunities, it almost felt like embarrassing to me to try again and like put myself out there in a different way that was like felt vulnerable.
Yeah.
We should never lose the desire to try like new things, or like I said, put yourself out of your comfort zone or do something, be bad at something. Like, I feel like we should all be encouraging each other to be bad at stuff, because that's how you like learn and grow and try new things. And I do think like with social media, you see all of these people like building things and doing things, and it feels like everyone's kind of like an expert and everyone's like really good at something. But it's like you have to start and be bad at something in order to do it. You just have to remind yourself of that. Like everyone has to start somewhere and be bad at something to get good at it.
Yeah.
Or have accomplished something, right?
Yeah. We're seeing obviously like on TikTok, and business owners or creators are sharing the entire startup journey.
Yeah.
And it goes
People
off.
love it.
It creates such a deep connection. But sometimes when you're in it, you forget to film things, or even when it feels like it's not curated, it still is. So it's like, how do you make sure that you're thinking about those elements? Has it just always been part of your thought process?
I think honestly it used to be easier for me,
Mm-hmm.
and now like I feel like I overthink things. And actually a friend of mine posted something that was like, being a perfectionist is like stopping you from growing and achieving like whatever goal that you have.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I feel called out. Like I do think you just have to let go of that and realize like you just have to post. You just have to do the thing, and it's not probably going to be as perfect or whatever as you want, but there are sometimes I'm like, why did I never post that video? Like that's so silly. It wasn't quote unquote what I wanted it to be, or the level that I created in my head. And so I guess it's something that I'm still struggling with, and I feel like now as content is changing, I feel like I'm overthinking things so much, and I need to just be like, just freaking post. Like, that's better than not and sitting there overthinking and not posting anything.
Exactly. I actually just set myself a challenge when I went to Greece. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to post 3 times a day, which means I have to not care as much, because otherwise it normally takes me 2 days to edit something together or curate it or create it. So I was like, okay, let me just post 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Who cares if it's 2 a.m. and not the good time to post, because I have another post I need to do. And one morning I accidentally posted 4 things in one morning just because I had a bunch there. But it was such a good practice to almost get out of your mind. Obviously certain posts and certain things will take longer, but I found that a really good challenge. So
did you feel like it changed like how you were thinking about things? Or made you feel like,
well, like some of the posts tanked, because for me, I figured out if I post 4 times a week, they get more reach each. But I was like, well, collectively, actually, it's more.
Yeah.
So let me just post, and who cares if it gets like 1/10 of the views, because I have another thing to post in an hour. So it almost removed the pressure.
Yeah, that's a good exercise also, just to like get yourself in the habit of not overthinking it and just putting something out there. Yeah.
Are you still posting multiple times a day? I know when you started on the TikTok.
No, honestly, like I'm kind of, again, like I said, it's a balance of, I think, staying in the know of like what's working on social, but also not taking that too far and still trying true to yourself. But I actually am posting a little bit less. I do feel like, at least right now, I feel like we're kind of swinging back into more curated content a little bit, and really creative ideas, like especially when creators are doing ads and things like that, doing something really creative. And so I feel like at the moment I'm kind of scaling back on this amount of content I'm putting out and really focusing on quality over quantity. Whereas like year ago, it was definitely quantity over quality, I think. And it's always going to change, but I do feel like right now we're seeing a rise in like curated content, whether that's like carousels or high quality video, switching from like iPhone to using a videographer and really just thinking about thoughtful storytelling.
Yeah.
I do feel like I'm seeing a shift in that right now.
What tip would you have for someone who wants to do more quality?
I think honestly, like use a videographer for a project or something. And I think just like play around with that. Having someone shoot something for you, not just by yourself on your iPhone, or trying different angles, trying different, templates, or just trying to like switch it up and really focus on the storytelling, especially if it's, an ad or something like that, really thinking about how maybe you could even play into trends and make that your own,
Yeah. I've really seen a lot of hype around certain brands and creators almost creating it as a TV show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that looks expensive.
Yes.
But I love the depth and storytelling behind it. And if you have that skill set, I feel like you could even do it on your iPhone, because sometimes it's about the storytelling behind it and making it into actual TV episodes, but making them like 1 to 3 minutes. Yeah, it's so interesting. I think we're moving into the era of almost like Hollywood.
Right. Or I think just like being creative
Yeah.
too. Yeah. Like I mean, obviously those I see those and I'm like, oh, I could never do that. That's like I'm like, that's too much. I'm like, I don't have the production to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool to see.
Yeah.
I think people are, to stand out, you're having to not just put your phone up, but also to stand out, you have to be doing something different and something creative.
For sure. I think that's really, really important. Okay, I would love to hear, what is a recent win that you need to celebrate?
So I am one of the Sports Illustrated Swim Search finalists, one of 6 girls out of like thousands that apply. And I got to walk in the Miami Swim Week fashion show, which was like a bucket list of bucket list item. Like this was something I have dreamed about for so long.
Yeah.
And like it was just crazy being there. And even thinking back to it, I'm like, did that really happen? It was just something that I had dreamed of happening for so long, and then I actually got to experience and live it. And it was one of the most exciting things of my life, of my career. And now, I'm excited to see what's next. We're in this like swim search, so we're now in like the voting period.
Okay.
So people can vote until July 31st. And I guess it's then kind of up to the Sports Illustrated team and the votes, like a combination, I think, of who will be like the next Sports Illustrated rookie. So
wow. What does that mean if you're the rookie?
So you're in the magazine. So it'd be you're in the Sports Illustrated magazine, and then you're kind of like part of the brand, and you do, that can look like a lot of different ways. A lot of my friends and role models like Lauren Chan, Hunter McGrady have been in it for a long time and get, just different opportunities. It's an amazing like organization to just be a part of, and like community, and they're doing some really cool things for women. And I'm just so honored, and still like pinch me like that. I can't even believe it.
Oh my gosh. Well, congrats. I was like cheering on at home, watching you walk that runway. You killed it.
Thank you.
Do you have any tips if someone wants to go out there and land some big deals? What would you suggest?
It's funny because my boyfriend is getting into content right now. So like I'm helping it. He's doing so good. I'm like, I'm your manager. But I would say create content like you're already a full-time, or I love seeing creators who have a job or a fitness instructor or a tattoo artist or something, and then are doing content around that. I think if you are passionate about something that you can create content around, that is the best way to go about it. And I just say, be posting and tagging brands. Like even if you post a reel or a story and you're wearing the pants are from Gap or whatever, tag Gap, post it. Whatever content you want to get paid for doing, just start creating it and doing it. There are obviously like strategy things, like be pitching yourself, messaging brands, tagging brands, and just making sure the quality of content that you're putting out is going to catch a brand. And if they come to your page, they can see exactly who you are and what you do.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest tip. And I tell my clients all the time as well, whether they want to land speaking gigs or podcast gigs and they have 0 videos of them speaking. I'm
Yeah.
like, how is someone going to think you're a great speaker if they can't see it? So similar in content.
Yeah.
How are they going to know you can create great videos if they can't see it?
Mhm.
I think it always comes down to whatever your goal is, start showing up as that today,
Mhm.
and the external world just rises to match it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's good. Like, I think, if you want to be a fashion creator or a beauty creator,
Mm-hmm.
and you just have to start doing it. And luckily, I feel like we're in a time where you can grow quickly and start working with
Yeah.
brands quickly. Brands love working with micro influencers
Mm-hmm.
and creators of all sizes. So I think just start. It's like
Yeah.
literally the easiest thing that you can
Yeah.
do.
Love it. Okay. Final question. What does being unstoppable mean to you?
Oh my gosh. I would say being unstoppable to me means not letting the fear of doing something wrong stop you from trying something new.
Yes.
It's trying something, maybe it doesn't work out, starting something else. I think it's just perseverance and knowing that you can and will be successful. Your path is going to look different. You might get no's, you might mess up, you might do things, but it's just believing in yourself to not give up on whatever your goal is.
Yes. Never give up. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
sharing
you.
all your wisdom. I cannot wait to see what the next 8 years brings.
I know, honestly. Well, hopefully I'll
hopefully,
see you before
yeah.
another 8 years.
I hope so.
So
Yeah.
thank you so much for
Thank
having
you
me.
so much.